This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight from New York, New York. What the hell is that?
It's a fedora.
I was saying, no, you look like, you remember pulp magazines from the 30s? I mean,
sure.
You've seen pictures of them.
Yes.
And there was a pulp magazine called The Shadow.
Okay.
Which then became a radio program, but it was called The Shadow, and that's what The Shadow looked like on the front of those pulp magazines.
Was that right?
So I feel like I'm looking at a pulp magazine.
All right.
Okay? So I'll leave it at that. How you doing, Steve Kravitz?
I'm doing all right.
Huh?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah? Yeah?
It's getting cold here.
Oh, God. It's getting cold here, too. We're supposed to go down in New York City, and this is unusual, to like -3 degrees or something.
Yeah, we're supposed to go like that also on Saturday, right?
Yeah. Like, I've never seen the minus before. In I think, almost all my time in New York City, both times, I don't think I've ever seen minus.
Is that right?
I mean, I've seen minus when you add in the wind chill factor, but I don't consider that the temperature.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I know some people do.
It's supposed to be windy also. It's supposed to be -3 and windy.
Oh, okay. And then you have to go out, right?
Hopefully not.
Don't you have to go to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how far is work from you?
20 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes, he works for a large industrial firm.
Yeah, right.
And
Lowe's.
He's in private accounting or something.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
I'm in public accounting.
Public accounting. Now you're over at you're not Home Depot. You're the other one.
Lowe's.
Lowe's. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what I heard about? Were you the one who told me? Yeah, you were the one who told me about Home Depot being right wing.
Right.
Yeah.
Their political stance.
Yeah.
And Lowe's more left wing.
Is that just because of the way they operate their business? I mean, I think it was you said, or somebody said to me, that at Home Depot they don't like people with long hair or beards or whatever, you know.
Right, and Lowe's they'll hire anybody.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, gay, straight, purple hair, red hair, orange hair.
How about a guy who's 83 years old?
Yeah, they hire you.
They would?
Oh, yeah.
Really? I mean, I guess I'd go look for a job at Lowe's.
Well, do we need to work?
Well, I need to do something. You know, I don't get out of this house at all. I just sit here, and then I say, well, I'll go out, and then I go, but it's 32 degrees. You know, forget it. You know.
Right.
Maybe
you should go out when it's -3 just to experience it.
Well, I may do that. But here's the thing I don't get. See, like I was thinking about the other day, is it our age that we don't go out as much when the weather's bad? I mean, I seem to remember when I was in my 30s living in New York and it got really cold, I went outside anyway.
Right.
You know?
Sure you did. Well, you had places to go then. Now where do you have to go?
Well,
where do you have to go now?
The other thing is, I've never had cabin fever in this apartment. Okay? Whereas in one bedroom small apartments, yes.
Right.
Yeah. I've been out of the housing market here in New York for years because I've been in this apartment. And there's this guy on YouTube who does these tours of really small apartments. And he goes to this apartment. It's like, you know, it's got like, it's maybe 300 square feet, maybe less, like 150 square feet. And they're
Really?
And they're charging like $2,000 a month rent.
Right. Isn't that absurd?
And I'm going, when did that happen? You know, Marjorie is renting an apartment she owns for $2,000 a month. And after watching these things, I looked at her and I said, those people are really lucky. They got you for a landlord.
Right.
You know? Because I said, if they ever move out, you should move it up to at least $3,000, $3,500 a month. It's a one-bedroom apartment. And in one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan, this guy's going around, there's a one-bedroom apartment, they say it's $3,500, and he says, oh, that's cheap. What? That's cheap?
That's absurd.
I'm in 2,500 square feet. Okay? I'm
Which
large.
is huge.
Huh? Yeah, I mean,
Which is huge.
I have a foyer that's larger than most of these apartments this guy looks at. Okay?
Oh, I'm sure.
It's huge. And even if I didn't go through this whole legal thing we went through and everything, and I was just paying the rent stabilized amount, it would only be $2,225. So where do they get these things of $3,500 for like a one-bedroom apartment?
Because that's the market.
Yeah. And this guy puts these things up and he goes, the cheapest apartment in New York, $650. Right? And I'm going, well, maybe he thinks so, but it's not true, because I have the cheapest apartment in New York.
No, he means the cheapest apartment that you can rent today.
Well, yes, but still, he says the cheapest apartment in New York, and 650 don't make it. I'm cheaper, you know. We got the deal of a lifetime finally. It only cost us $175,000 to get it.
Is that right?
Yeah, but you amortize that over like 9 years, and it's about $1,800 a month rent. But for this, you know, the room I do this show out of is bigger than most of these apartments this guy is looking at.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is my living room here. This is a picture actually of it. It's not, you know, I'm doing a green screen back here, but this is my living room. And on the other side of the living room is a dining room with another fireplace.
It's huge.
Yeah. And see the size of this room, the living room? Mm-hmm. The kitchen is about that big. And then
You're a lucky man.
And then there's a hallway, and there's a bedroom out to one side, and then there's another bedroom at the end of the hallway that's smaller. And then there's this room, which is kind of off a little alcove. Yeah, you know, look at what I'm getting.
So it's 2 bedrooms, a living room, a patio.
3 bedrooms.
Oh, 3 bedroom.
Okay, 3 bed. Well, let's start at the beginning. A foyer.
Right.
Okay. A living room, this thing here. A dining room. Okay. A kitchen. All right, that's 4 things. There's also a pantry, 5. There's a bathroom, 6. Okay, then we go over down the hall, and there's a bedroom, 7. Then there's 8 is a guest room. 9 is the room I'm in doing the show from. So I got 9 rooms in this apartment?
No, you forgot your bedroom. 10.
No, there's also a bathroom too. So it's 11. It's 11-room apartment.
So 2 baths, 3 bedrooms.
Yeah, a foyer, a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, and a pantry. The pantry used to be the maid's room. And off the maid's room, there's a bathroom. So, ta-da! Pretty huge. It's bigger than the house.
Impressive.
You're in a house, right?
Yeah.
It's bigger than your house.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Well, how many feet? Do you know how many square feet that place is?
No, it is. I have no idea.
No. But, and so what they're doing now on these videos is they're going into an apartment and saying, oh, this apartment's $5,500 a month. But it has 4 bedrooms, so that only comes down 2, and then they figure you're going to go out and get 4 roommates.
Yeah, right.
I don't want roommates. I just want an apartment, okay?
Right.
So, I mean, it's really the whole, it's gone crazy. You know, if we were ever, say, kicked out of this apartment, we'd probably have to move out of Manhattan.
Oh, absolutely.
We couldn't afford Manhattan any longer.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's just too much. But, you know, but that's not going to happen because we have all kinds of court orders now and things like that. Because we've got to, you know, the judge ordered that the rent would be $500.07 a month. And then they went and appealed it to an appeals court. And the appeals court said, screw you, we're letting everything that the first judge said stand. Okay? So get out of our appeals court. And that was it. That's the most they can do. So they're stuck with charging us this until next year, when every 2 years they get to raise the rent by a certain amount. And in our case, it's about 5%, maybe, let's say 4%.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
5%. So
5%.
5% of 500 is what? You know, 10% would be 50, so $25 more a month. Yeah, I can afford it. You know, usually Marjorie and I divide our rent and utilities and things like that, and she pays half, I pay half, but I decided I'm paying all the rent, mainly because why not? It's $500 a month.
How much are the utilities?
My utilities, our utilities come to, I would say, once you get them all together during the summer, especially summer months, it's over $500
a month.
Yeah, I'm paying more in utilities. I'm paying in rent. Yeah. So what the hell, you know? But utilities are ridiculous too. I got an electric bill's $300 a month. Now I know I have a lot of equipment here, but a lot of this equipment, like a computer, doesn't draw that much power.
Right.
Okay. You can tell how much power something draws by how hot it gets. Like if you have something like a computer and it gets really hot, then it's using up more electricity than another computer that isn't. And I've got a computer here. I can't even feel heat coming out of it practically. There's a little bit of heat. Today I can feel the heat only because it's so damn cold. You know.
Yeah, and because you're looking for it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. But anyway, so and so the fact that you managed to find a place, and you know, how much are you paying to your friend for your 7? God, you got a good deal.
Right. And
you got a whole house to roam around.
Right.
You know, I'm sure you're not in your bedroom right now.
No.
See, so you know, it's good. It's terrific. So what's new in the life of Steve Kravitz?
I hope to move to California in the summer.
Good. I'm your rah-rah team here.
Okay.
When do you want to move?
In the summer.
In the summer. Are you looking?
It'll take me that long to save up enough money.
Are you looking right now what you can get to live in, or do you have friends?
I'm going to start looking in March.
Or do you have friends you can stay with?
Now I'm going to start looking and hitting up people in March.
Yeah. I think really that would be good for you. You know, because I mean, I think being where you are, you move back what is essentially your home.
Right.
So you're there with relatives and so on and so forth, and that's nice.
Right.
Your job, however, is in L.A. Or you could move to New York. You know, New York's a big production town too.
Yeah, but I'd rather go somewhere where it's warm.
Okay. And has forest fires, and floods,
and mudslides.
And mudslides. Yeah. You know, anywhere you go these days, forget it.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's terrible. I hate these people who say, "Oh, there's no such thing as global warming." Oh yeah, well,
right.
What are all these floods? I mean, these are all ridiculously impactive climatological problems we're having now.
We had the warmest January on record this past January.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how about the amount of snow that dropped last month? I mean, upstate New York, you couldn't, it was taller than you were.
Right.
And in California, they got the floods. They were preceded by the forest fires. You're going to tell them, and people go, well, that has nothing to do with climate. Absolutely has everything to do with climate.
Sure.
I mean, it really pisses me off, to tell you the truth. I wish it didn't.
What, the deniers?
The deniers piss me off, yeah. Because by denying it, you're only putting off the things we've got to do to try and prevent it.
Right.
And
prevent it. We can't prevent it. It's already happening. We need to just slow it down.
Yeah. Well, when I hear about polar bears, genitalia are shrinking. I don't know who goes out to figure that out.
And I don't know why you know that.
No, I read it somewhere that their genitalia are shrinking.
Did they say why?
Because of climate change. Just climate change. People don't understand that climate change really affects everything. And climate change is affected by the things we put into the atmosphere that create that climate change. So we have to kind of come up with answers to all these questions soon, because there's going to be a point at which there's no return.
Right.
And this planet is going to be screwed. Because, let's face it, Mother Nature is not going to sit around and say, hey, you can fuck me up, I don't mind. No. Nature...
Mother Earth is pissed.
Nature is going to attack. Okay? Nature is going... Long after we're all dead here, nature will still exist. It exists...
Oh, yeah, in some form.
Well, it existed the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Right.
The only other thing that will last... I hear roaches were here with the dinosaurs. And they were the only thing that didn't get destroyed by those giant meteors that hit the Earth.
Also, like alligators and crocodiles.
Really? They're very prehistoric, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's more, but, alligators or crocodiles.
I'm trying to remember what the difference between an alligator and a crocodile is. It has to do with
the way their eyes are set, their nose.
The nose?
The nose and the way their eyes are set.
Okay, so the nose is shorter on what?
On the alligator.
Okay. All right. So you're safer being around alligators than you are around crocodiles, because
I don't think you're safe around either one of them.
Well,
to tell you the truth,
I wouldn't want to be near any of them. But they're very prehistoric.
Yeah.
What else was I was thinking was kind of prehistoric? No, that's about it.
My act.
Your act. Yeah, your act will survive the Ice Age. Yeah. That's the Ice Age. Yeah. Anyway, so but going back to California, I think that I would love to move back to California, but everybody tells me, because I'm from San Francisco. That's where I would move. That's where I'd move back to. I wouldn't move back to L.A.
Couldn't afford it.
It's not only that I couldn't afford it. It's I never liked L.A. L.A. is a terrible.
You couldn't afford. I don't know if you could afford San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco probably couldn't afford that either. What I would do is I would move up to Sonoma or someplace like that and get a little place out in the country. That would be nice.
Sebastopol.
Yeah, that's the way to spend your life. But I love San Francisco, but people tell me I would not love it anymore. They say it's just horrible. It's just completely changed. What happens is you have a great little town. People grow up in it. It's a community that has its flavor. San Francisco has a great flavor. You have to admit that. Those hills and the fog rolling in, and the cable cars and the whole thing. It's just
magical.
But you then get people moving in to California and to the San Francisco Bay Area to go work at these tech companies. And they all have a different attitude about things. And the rents get raised because of them. And just the whole place goes to crap because of these people that moved in for the tech business. And so
I think San Francisco is more expensive than Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
What about the Valley? What about the San Fernando Valley?
The San Fernando Valley's kind of nice, you know.
Right.
That's kind of nice. But the thing is, when my parents rented an apartment in San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken, the apartment costs $35 a month. I think. It may have been lower. And now that same apartment, you know, you're lucky if you can get it for $3,000, $4,000 a month, you know. And it was a big apartment. It had a living room, it had a bedroom for me, it had a bedroom for my parents.
Right.
You know, it had a huge kitchen. It had a kind of a deck, not a deck, but kind of a porch. But it was an enclosed inside porch.
Okay.
It was a fairly big apartment up on Telegraph Hill. You know, which is like this. Okay.
Right.
I used to walk up the street all the time like that. And everybody, when I was growing up the rest of my life, said, "Why do you always look like you're walking into the wind?" And I said, it's because I grew up on a hill like that, you know, and your whole life and your whole attitude and your inclination becomes that.
Some of the hills actually have stairs.
Yes, they have. Ours had steps at a certain point.
Right.
But I didn't mind. I learned how to, run up and down those hills, and
Sure.
that was my life, But anyway, it was a great town. It was just wonderful. It was magical.
Right.
And then we moved to Marin County, and that was nice. It was
that's real nice.
Yeah, when I was let's see here, how old was I when we moved? I was about 10, maybe 9. And we moved over to Marin. I think I was 10. And we moved to Mill Valley, and then we moved to a house in San Anselmo. The house they bought was $9,000. It was big.
Yeah, the house I grew up in was 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. This was 9,000, and it had a bunch of steps that led up to it, which, again, I got all my exercise in early life that way.
Right,
because
right. Now you don't have to exercise.
I had a bicycle. We didn't want to leave the bicycle downstairs, so I had to actually put the bicycle on my shoulder and walk up. I think it was 75 steps or something like that, But anyway, in the very top was the house, and it was a 2-level house, and big house, and it was $9,000. My mother, when she finally sold it, I think sold it for $135,000, and she thought she was making a killing. But like 3 years later, that house became worth something like $500,000, and today it's probably $1.5 million, I would imagine. And,
yeah, my father sold our house for $250,000.
Well, I kept trying to tell my mother, hey, we gotta, you shouldn't sell that house. And she's, well, I can't. I don't want to keep making the payments on it. She was making payments. I want to make the money off of it. And I went, look, I'll pay the rent if you want me to. Just keep the house for a while.
Right.
I was thinking about me too, and she said, nah, I'm going to sell it. So she sold it. And then she got what was good money for the time. And she thought she was making a killing. But a couple of years later, while she was still alive, that house went for at least $500,000. Because then the housing market grew, So
now it's probably $1 million plus.
Next time we talk, I'd like to find out a little more about you growing up in Worcester and what that was like for you. Because we are, in our later lives, I think, somewhat formed by the place we grew up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always still a San Franciscan to this day.
Right.
I'm glad I live in New York, but, I just think of myself as that kid in San Francisco or that kid in San Anselmo. You know, I think that's where your heart always lies. I mean, you don't say to yourself, "I hate Worcester," because you move back to it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It gives you a certain kind of sense of comfort, but maybe you don't need that comfort any longer, right? Anyway, that's it for now.
That's it.
Good talking to you, Steve.
Good talking to you, Alex.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, oh, wait a minute. Let me turn on the lights. There we go. I forgot to turn on the lights. Son of a bitch. Anyway, hello, everybody. How are you? There's only one person waiting, and that's Jeff, to come on the show. So we could use some more people. I don't know where everybody is. Thursdays are becoming our light night, and I don't know why. Well, there's Brian Neary. He's joining, too, so we'll get to him in a second. Well, let's get to them now. What the hell, you know? I mean, let me just... by the way, when I was doing the thing with Kravitz, I noticed I was over here like this. I don't know why, because I usually try to center myself. Oh, well. Anyway, let's see here. Let's get these people in here. Let's bring them in. There we go. There's Jeff. Jeff, you're still up in Connecticut, right?
I still am.
How's the weather up there?
Tomorrow we're leaving.
Tomorrow you're leaving. Mm-hmm. You're going to be snowbirds, huh?
Yeah, we gotta beat the weather.
Yeah, so how long are you going to be down there?
Probably 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Wow.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Yeah. I mean, he'll keep calling the show because he calls from down there, you know.
What else he can do? Just like us. What else are we going to do?
Yeah, you know, I mean, well, I don't know why you call this show, Brian. You got a job and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You know.
I feel I have to call the show because all the endless days that you entertained me.
Oh, really? So now you're you're supposed to entertain me, I see.
Yeah, if I hear you die tomorrow, I'm going to feel bad that I stopped calling. Jeez.
Well, it's always possible, you know.
But then what are we going to do? All of us are just going to sit around at 8 o'clock or whatever time it is there. And
yeah, well, I'm not going anytime soon. I got the doctor wrote me this morning.
Oh, good.
And I have no detectable PSA. So
thank God.
So I'm fine. But
so now what are you going to talk about for a week?
I've got nothing else to talk about. So good night.
I know. Usually if he doesn't call, you know, or leave you a message, at least it gives you another week of material.
Oh, look who's here though. Although I think he's having to do it in the look at that. That's the light off his phone is lighting him. Is that what it is?
No, I've got a lantern here that.
Oh my God! Are you getting mail, Charlie?
I don't know. I have not opened the door to my apartment. That's the only reason it's as high as 52 degrees in here is because I've never opened the door or window or anything.
Well, you could. Do you have a gas oven?
No, it's all electric.
Oh God!
No heat, no hot water, no nothing. For 41 hours now.
I'll send you some hot water.
They're saying 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
And yet the assholes where you live will reelect Greg Abbott, right?
Yeah. We never had these problems before the permanent Republican majority in 2000.
Ah, yeah.
So ever since then, it's just gotten worse and worse and worse.
Well, I mean, look at what he's done there. He's, you know, yeah. I mean, he made a deal where he wasn't going to be part of the national power grid.
Yep.
For whatever reason, and this is the result. If you were part of this power grid, it probably would be working now because it's not the electricity that's down, but it's the grid, right?
Well, actually, right now in Austin, it's the electricity because of all the tree branches that are broken and falling on wires.
Right, but
Yeah.
generally in the state, it's because the grid is down.
Yeah, those are the problems. Like in the summer when we had all that 108, 109-degree weather, and they were having rolling blackouts. That was the grid.
Yeah. So anyway, so
We never had that. We've had freezing rain and ice storms and stuff before, but before 2000, we never lost power like this.
wow.
They have a lot of Tom Cruise. I mean, not Tom. What's the name? Cruise. What's his name? They have a lot of
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
They have a lot of memes about him about Groundhog Day. They show him like going to the airport with a mask on. Say, "Oh, it's Groundhog Day. We're gonna have 6 more months of this weather because Tom Cruise is taking off, or Ted Cruz is taking off to Cancun again."
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him since all this happened.
Maybe he's there.
He's maybe down in Cancun.
Can you believe
that?
Oh
Did you get power on at all?
What?
Who, me? Oh, but yeah, there's places in Austin that have power. There's only about a third of the city, a quarter of the city that's out of power right now.
And you're part of that quarter.
And I'm part of that quarter, yep.
It doesn't have to, by any chance, to be a black neighborhood, does it?
No, but it is
okay.
a Republican neighborhood. Somebody pointed that out. Yeah, this is Williamson County where they vote mostly Republican.
No.
Not me, but they did. So they're getting what they wanted.
You need a sign out the window say, "I voted Republican." Maybe they'll put your power back on.
Yeah.
I like how long your battery lasts on your iPhone.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I only had to charge it 3 times. And it's still got over half the charge left on the battery.
Oh, good. On that charger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex, I sent you yesterday, I ordered you the quick charger, the charging cable, and a battery pack. Like he's got a high power battery pack, and you'll have it on Saturday.
It might actually fit in this thing that I have. I don't know.
According to Amazon. So
yeah, I mean, what does it look like? Let me see.
It's square, and I don't know. Here's one.
It's rectangular, you mean?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, here's what mine looks like.
Yeah. Oh, we have the same one. It's about, yours is going to be a little smaller.
Well, here's the one that I had in this thing, but it's kind of out now. It's not.
Well, this isn't out, so you'll get a brand new one.
It's not charging anymore, but look, this, I don't know. Well, it might fit in it. I don't know.
Fit in it?
It fit in the charger here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
He's sending you a whole charger, though. You don't need it to go inside.
I'm sending you a charger and a charging cable. You get rid of that old battery, and then you charge the new one up. It'll take about 5 hours to charge up, and you'll have a really good backup.
I never actually even used this thing.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so
that's okay.
I bought it a long time ago. I bought it a long time at Costco, and what I use it for now is it has 3 outlets here. And,
do you have a quick charge? Do you have a quick charger for your phone?
Well, that's what this is. This is a quick charger.
No. Other than the battery, do you have a quick charger that you put your iPhone on?
What do you mean a quick charger?
Well, the iPhone, I don't know, 12 came out with where when your iPhone gets below 50%, so from 0 to 50%, the quick charger at 18 watt or higher charger.
Yeah, I don't know. I just take the thing and I put it in a thing at night.
Okay, well you're gonna this includes a high watt charger.
Yeah, well all I care about is my watch, and I have some fast watch chargers. So.
Okay, well this thing's a fast iPhone. So the first, if you ran your iPhone to 0, the first 50% would be 30 minutes. There you go.
Yeah. So I felt terrible tonight, really terrible. I did something terrible to Marjorie.
Uh-oh.
Well, see, I got mad at her because she came home today and she knew that I was waiting for the doctor. You know, you all knew I was waiting for the doctor to write me, right?
Yeah.
So if you knew, she knew more than anybody, because I'm asking her every 5 minutes, do you think I'm going to be okay? Do you think I'm going to be okay? So she comes home, and you know, she's had a lot of problems lately physically, and I take great pity on that, and I worry about her and so on. And, you know, I ask her questions when she comes back from her doctor. She comes home today from another doctor's appointment, and she doesn't ask me, did you hear from the doctor? Because she knew I was going to want to hear from the doctor today. So I decided I would wait as long as it took to see how long it would take her to ask me, did you hear from the doctor? And I never heard from her. She never said anything about it. So finally, about 7 o'clock tonight, I said to her, I'm a little disappointed in you. And she said, why? I said, you haven't asked me about what the doctor had to say. Oh, she said, that he was going to do it today. I said, you knew that, And she said, well, how did it turn out? And I said, I have cancer again. And she just gasped horribly, and I immediately said, I'm only kidding. Because I didn't want to push the joke any longer, but I figured if she didn't ask, I would tell her something, other than So then I felt terrible about that.
Well, how long were you unconscious?
How long was I unconscious? I mean, after
when she hit you.
After she hit me, yes. But anyway, so But
the lady in the back agreed on that.
Huh?
The lady in the back agreed.
Agreed
hit
what?
you in the head on that one.
She should have hit me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I only said it for 1 second, and then I took it back. I said, I'm only kidding. But I felt terrible. I didn't want to scare her like that. I just wanted to teach her a lesson, Because, it could have turned out the other way, too, but it didn't. And it probably won't. And,
What is the new ailment that we'll hear about for weeks?
Nothing today. Nothing today.
Good. I'm glad that your test turned out negative.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not negative. What it is it's a number. And if it goes up, like I've just been getting these undetectables. And, if it starts to jump a little bit, then they say, well, maybe we better check this out, so. But so I have another year to live because in a year they do the test again.
Is it below 1, your PSA?
Oh, it's negligible. It's undetectable.
Okay, good.
It's
good.
below 0.02.
Yeah, mine's always been 0.6.
0.6? That's good.
Yeah, it's great.
1.0.
1.0? Yeah.
Yeah,
everybody here seems to every guy here probably knows his PSA number. Do you know, Brian?
Yeah, no, I could look it up.
Yeah.
They sent it to me. I just had my blood done last.
Yeah.
I think Brian's and Tony's were both 17.
Do you know yours, Jeff? No.
I don't remember it right now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it could be. It's good. You're just fine there, Alan. But one day, all of a sudden, it could go jumping, and you've got some prostate.
That's what happens to everybody on this show, right?
Well, let's see here. Me, Phil, Tony. I guess that's it, right? For now, it. You get to be my age, your chances of getting it are very good.
Yep.
But they do suggest now that people go and have their prostate exam. It used to be when you're 50, and I think they're saying now 45.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safe side, And hopefully you don't get it young. If you get it when I got it, it's not as deadly when you get it when you're older, for some reason. But anyway, enough about that. Are you people out there tired about hearing about medical things here on the show?
Not me. It's my life. Medical issues are my life.
Yeah. And how many toes do you have left?
I have 4 toes left.
Okay, so Charlie Four Toes. That's your mafia name, Charlie Four Toes. That was quite a, but it hasn't come back, has it? I mean, that's the end of
No, it was all in 2015. All 6 of them decided to go bad in
Hasn't
2016.
come back.
15.
The toes grow back.
No, toes don't
No, he
grow
meant the-
back.
He said hasn't come back.
No, I said has the problem come back? In other words, where he'd have to lose more toes.
Oh.
And then we'd have to like just balance him up against walls and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
You have
My toes hurt when I drive a lot. My toes hurt when I drive a lot.
Do they really? My toes are my feet are numb, but they're numb from neuropathy, not from what do you call
Your
it?
McLaren probably doesn't have cruise control, does it?
My McLaren, I have to wear special shoes because my feet are so big that I hit both pedals at the same time.
Oh.
Wait a minute. How big are your feet?
13.
13?
Big hands too.
You climb trees with that thing?
I'm
With those things?
6'4". What do you think? 6'4".
Oh, you're 6'4". I can never tell how tall people are on this show.
I know, and I just remember you as big, but because you're the star.
I'm only 6 feet tall. I was always, I always said that I was an average person, average height, average hair, average eye color.
I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, and I have big hands and size 14 feet, and a penis that's this big when it's erect.
Yeah, well, that's about the size of mine these days, because
Fortunately, mine's just a little bigger, but I knew somebody would throw something out there.
The doctor, when he checked me out, he did the finger thing with the prostate, which God bless him that he took this job. Somebody's got to do it, but I was almost going to ask him this time. Maybe I'll ask him next time. What do you think your lifetime number is on the number of asses your finger has been up? Because, I mean, if he says he's got 4,000 patients, that's at least, there are some women who would go to a urologist, yeah. So let's say half of them are guys. He's sticking his finger up 2,000 butts a year. That's a lot of digitizing. What?
It's a lot of gloves.
A lot of gloves, yeah. And I kind of feel sorry for him because I brought this up last night. The whole thing about the money that the insurance companies are they're just short sheeting him, and he's just said it's getting rougher and rougher to have a private practice. He says, I don't come in on Wednesdays now. I decided to start taking Wednesdays off. Why should I, why should I go crazy on this, But he said it's not easy. It's funny. For some reason, he always levels with me about some problem, and that problem he just said, he said, well, I have 4,000 patients. And I said, well, that should be pretty good, right? He says, you got to have them. He says, because the insurance. I said, because the money we get back is not that great. And I said, Medicare? And he said, oh, Medicare is, what Medicare is what Medicare is. And you charge Medicare and they immediately pay you. But he says it's the insurance companies that are terrible. They're trying to cut us down 20% over what they pay us now. And then, they just, they're just constantly niggling us. And, he says, it's terrible. He says, just terrible. He says, and it wasn't any like right-wing thing he was saying to me, like, all the socialized medicine stuff. In fact, I think he's probably a lefty. But he just said to me that he said it's very hard for doctors now. And that's why we have to have socialized medicine. That's why we have to have single payer. Is so the guys like this can also survive, and so that they can have a practice and not have problems with the insurance companies. Because let's do socialized medicine tomorrow. Let's do one single payer. Let's get rid of the goddamn insurance companies.
Amen.
Because, you know, these are guys who take money, very happy to take your money every year, and then when you get sick, oh, well, we have to okay this first, and we have to, you know, what is it, predetermine, or whatever the term is for when, you know.
Pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, or, you know, they have to okay an operation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like when I had my operations, they had to actually have the insurance companies give the okay.
Yeah, when I had my ruptured discs back in 2013, before I got on Medicare, it took them 3.5 months to okay my back surgery.
Really?
3.5 months I had to sit there in pain because they wouldn't, the insurance company wouldn't okay my back surgery.
Yeah, yeah, and you know,
Medicare does it right away.
Well, Medicare, Medicare okays it, but you know what I have, I'm paying. Well, my wife's company right now is paying for it. We're going to have to start paying for it in about a year. We pay about $320 a month for medical insurance, where they pay off everything that Medicare doesn't pay. Not 13%, or they charge you what do you call it, a charge for, you know, for everything, a little extra money that you have to put out. No, they just take care of it. And I'm going to keep that because I like that.
Something I got to look forward to at the end of the year.
Well, you know something, none of us should have to deal with this. You know, I talked to Debbie Durst, who's Will's wife, and she's handling all the stuff with him being in the hospital and so on. And she says her whole life is spent dealing with the insurance companies.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing she should have to deal with is getting Will better, you know? And the insurance company should say, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it, you know. And Medicare is pretty cut and dried. But I just think that, hey, you go into a hospital and it should be 100% paid by the government. Okay? That's it. Is there anything wrong with that? You know?
No.
Nope.
Now, what does your cap say?
Well, I guess it'd work better if I didn't. Am I blurry? I'm blurry on my side.
Yeah, you're kind of blurry.
You're just fine.
No, you're not.
Just my ass, right? So,
no, the reason it is because you probably have that thing on autofocus, and you should never have it on autofocus.
I'm going to go look right now.
See, the trouble is autofocus ain't exactly autofocus.
Am I on autofocus? Hold on just a minute. We'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
No problem reading your script, Brian.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now, what does it say on the cap? It says MAGA.
Yeah, my attorney got arrested.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I thought I had a PSA number here before, but you know, I do the yearly stool sample, because that's what we're talking about, right?
No, it's not a stool sample. It's a urine sample. It's a blood sample. It's a
blood sample. Yeah.
Okay, because then there's okay. I gotta find it. I had it on here last.
It would be blood, not under stool.
It would say PSA.
Oh yeah. That's why I was looking at the results to see, but I don't see anything. But I know I had it before. I know I've had it with all my other blood work. So. My friend yesterday, I told you he's an ophthalmologist.
Mm-hmm.
He has a practice. So he texted me back. He has 3,500 patients.
Mm-hmm.
He says he sees the majority of them like every 6 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have to rely on his notes as much anymore. But he does say that, yeah, he has his folder. He has notes in there for his patient.
Yeah. So that
now he sees them so many years that he doesn't have to rely on that much anymore.
Well, I wonder how much this guy remembers me.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I mean, and I don't expect him to. If he's got 4,000 patients,
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you're seeing him,
and I'm seeing him once. I saw him once every 6 months, and now every 9 months, and now every year. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know. Now I'm sure he knew. I'm sure he knew who I was when he was dealing with me when I had the prostate cancer, and he had to send me to another doctor, and he had to do the, the what do you call it? The what is it when they biopsy? When they did the biopsy. You know, I understand that, that he would remember me then. But I think after that, I think it's kind of like, yeah, I think I know him, but let me look down here to make sure I know him. Yeah.
Kaiser, which I belong to, has in their computer system, when you see a new doctor that may, or even your regular doctor, the first thing it does is it has a picture of you and tells your name and your age. So right on the top, so your doctor can look over at the screen and say, "Oh yeah, Alan, how you doing? It's good seeing you. We haven't seen you in 6 months." And you think that he knows and remembers, and he may, but you don't know.
Well, maybe it has the name of my wife down there and all of that. How's Marjorie?
It may. I don't know. I don't have a wife.
I went to one doctor, and he was he was looking through my stuff, and he was reading it back to me all wrong. It was like he almost had another person in the room with him.
Jesus. That's a doctor you want to.
Oh, well, he was the worst urologist. I hated urologists until this guy, and I had a urologist that I swear he was padding the bill. Okay, because anytime I had blood in my urine, and I've always had a trace of blood in my urine for 20 years. Okay. But every time he would find blood in my urine, he'd want to give me a cystoscopy. I had about 2 or 3 cystoscopies with this guy.
Ouch.
And this doctor, I go to him, he says, "Oh, well, some blood in your urine, but I looked at it under a microscope and it's so negligible. It's nothing to worry about." I said, "I've always had blood in my urine." He says, "A lot of people do. It comes from the kidneys or somewhere. We don't know what, but it isn't profound, and you can't see it, and that's fine." And I'm thinking to myself, then what did I get this goddamn snake stuck up my penis for?
God, that sounds horrible.
It is. You haven't had it done. It's uncomfortable.
Your mic all of a sudden is too loud there.
Oh, sorry. Shit.
Yeah. Turn it down. We
I
only
didn't do anything. But I will turn it down.
Yeah. But anyway, a cystoscopy it's just annoying. It's not that it's painful. It's just annoying. I'm sure people love hearing about this. Well, how many people are listening now? Oh, well, we got enough people.
Yeah.
But
is that better?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. You're right. Autofocus is on. Now it's off.
Yeah.
I had to go into my settings. Sorry.
That's okay. It's all right.
Now I look horrible, but that's okay. Who cares?
Yeah. So anyway, so I was watching the news tonight, and they have all these ice storms all over the country, and I mean it's something to watch. I mean, they have giant trucks sliding all over the road and jackknifing. But I told you this last night. The best video they had out there, though, was this woman who was on her hands and knees crawling across the street because she couldn't walk. And it's terrible. But here in New York, we aren't having that problem. But we are going to have some cold nights. Tomorrow night's supposed to go down to like 4 degrees or something like that. So. And let me see here. What else? Oh, did you see the Trump? We haven't talked about Trump in a while.
No.
Trump's really been doing these rallies, but they say he has toned himself down.
He's not getting as much money too. They said the first, I forget how long, but these first months or something like that since he announced it, he got $12 million rallied or donated. Now the second period, the same amount of time, only like 9 million. So they see all the people who donated right away, and now it's starting to go down a little bit.
Well, he made a lot of money though off those what do you call it? Pictures that he was
Oh,
selling.
yeah, I know.
You know,
Yeah, still 9 and 12
NFTs.
million. He gets a pocket that if he doesn't get president, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. But he supposedly is toning himself down a little bit to make, and he's gone into states now that he didn't go into last time. He
Has
started.
malaria been with him yet? Have
No.
we seen him with malaria?
No,
Nope.
malaria hasn't.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that before, and I said I don't think he'll be seen with her ever again.
Well, I think she's about to be indicted as well
Oh,
because
really?
it's on their taxes.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, you know, but he didn't tone it down too much because I saw a thing he did, a video that he did about that he was all against pronouns. He says, "I'm going to sign an executive order saying that only he and she will be allowed. You have to use the sex you were assigned at birth." By who?
Yep.
You know, assigned
A
at birth.
certain percentage aren't assigned any sex at birth.
What do you mean?
That means that they're like hermaphrodites, and the parents have to make a choice. Well, you want them to be male or female, and they figure out which organs to remove.
Right.
Now, how many people do that? Have that?
Well, it's something like 3 or 4% of the population.
Really, that high?
Yeah.
Wow.
Trump was one of those.
Wasn't
They removed his penis and his tits.
Okay. All right.
You guys brought up Trump. I didn't bring it up.
No, but it isn't that you. It isn't that you didn't bring it up. It's that you mentioned him. That's a list about
No, you
you.
mentioned-
That's a list about you. Hold that list up again so the audience can see it. These are the things he says that we can pretty well. This is the.
Trump, Mar-a-Lago, and Republican.
Oh, hey, you said all of them.
He just said Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to make sure that I can read still.
Did you see that prayer? That prayer day or whatever that was?
Yeah, the prayer luncheon.
And Biden sitting next to McCarthy, and
Well, McCarthy's toned himself down a little bit, if you notice. You know.
The Republicans want to change Medicare and Social Security.
Yep.
With this budget that they're not going to pass, cause the country to go into a deep depression. Everybody, the Fed, the everybody's.
Well, what do
warning.
they want to change about Social Security?
Well, it's going
They
to
wanna
come
cut
to a
it.
stop and so will Medicare temporarily if they don't approve the budget.
Well,
They
the
want to
point
raise the age on Social Security.
Yes, that's true too.
they should lower the age on Social Security.
Yep.
And the reason everybody's going to me, well, why should they? Because, very simply and explicitly, let me just say, that it's very hard to get a job. If you lose a job at 60 rather, you're going to have a hard time getting another job.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, to do anything else, so we really need to have Social Security start at 60. I'd even want it at 55, but 60 would be fine. Or that you could opt for 60, or you could wait till 65 and you just get a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, so 60 is only 2 years before it is now.
But, well, 62 you can do it if you want to.
I did it at 62. I want to get the money out of the government, whatever I can. I have retirement and other assets, but they don't care. If you want to get at 62, you know, my full retirement age is 68. I may not make it, you know, so let's get some money
Oh,
back.
wait a minute. So how old are you now?
64.
64. So you've been taking Social Security for a while now.
2 years.
And how much do you get every month?
I don't know, $1,200, something like that.
Really, that little?
Because I put into a retirement system, and so part of the time they weren't putting into Social Security.
They weren't putting it in. Who wasn't putting it into Social Security?
The city that I worked for.
They're supposed to. They're supposed to.
Yeah.
No. Some government agencies don't have to.
Oh,
That's
really?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you then get benefits from the city?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. And how much do you get from them a month?
A lot.
Well, what's a lot? Come on.
I don't know, like what
No,
do I
personal.
get from them? About 3,000.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
that.
All right. That's good. That's good. So you
like,
add that
and my extra 1,000, so I'm getting 4,000 retirement. You know.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's good. That's good.
I could even afford to rent the place you're in.
Yeah. Well, you know.
My expenses are pretty low.
I hope the day doesn't come that I have to say we have to move out of this place. It's too expensive. You know, I mean, then I know in bad shape.
Yeah.
But I've kind of, you know, there are these. Do you ever watch these things on YouTube about the smallest apartment in New York City? Do you ever watch those? Yeah. And this is the cheapest apartment in New York City.
That's right.
And I sit there just laughing at it, going, "That's not the cheapest apartment in New York City. Not at $650 a month. No."
By square footage, it certainly is.
Oh, by square footage, I don't think there's another apartment. I watch these things. Because I was kind of out of the housing market for the last, God, as long as we've lived here. You know, the clock stopped at that point, and I was renting a place downtown that was, it was $2,500 a month, something like that. You know. But now I watch these things, and they're like one-bedroom apartments, hovels. Okay, one-bedroom apartments, $4,000. And
there's something on Facebook tonight actually, and it was a house in Palo Alto. It's really, really small, leaking the walls, all this bad stuff, and it's still 1.3 million.
That's the worth of the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fixer-upper.
A fixer-upper. Yeah, well, I don't get it. You know, I mean, all of a sudden I'm seeing these places, these little hovels. How much are you paying for this? This is only $2,000 a month. And I'm going, you know, I mean, this apartment, if I didn't have what happened, and I was just paying the rent stabilized price, it would be about $2,225 a month. And it's, 3 rooms, giant living room, giant dining room, giant kitchen, a giant foyer. I mean, the foyer could be a studio apartment, you know? And yet, if I didn't get this deal that's happened to us, we probably would have had to pay about $2,225 a month. And that's nothing compared to these other places that I'm seeing. They're like one-bedroom apartments for $2,500 or $3,000.
Yep. I'm fortunate.
My son
I
has
bought
one room.
What?
It's a bedroom, one bedroom.
Yeah, one-bedroom apartment. Well, this guy who was showing these things is going, well, this is only $5,000 a month, but that's not $5,000 because there are 3 bedrooms in this place, and then you could each rent out 1 bedroom, you know, and here's how much, so they divide the $5,000 by 3. I'm sorry, it's $5,000 a month, okay? Let's not say, well, you know, it's actually more like $1,200 a month per person.
You're paying more than I am.
Huh?
I paid my house off last year.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's worth 1.8 million. It's not as ritzy as Brian's neighborhood, but a couple thousand square feet, 4 bedroom, 2 bath. You know, nice neighborhood.
Yeah, but you could say
Brian's lives in a more.
You could say if I ever needed the money, I could always sell it. But if you sold it, you would then have to go into another place.
That's the problem.
And how much is that going to cost?
Yeah, well, say the average price in Fremont, $1.5 million. You know, the down payment is going to be $250,000, $300,000.
No, but that doesn't matter. The property tax will kill you.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing. 'Cause I'd like to get a different house, but it's the property tax.
My property taxes are less than $2,500 a year.
Yeah, that's.
Now somebody's a little more pissed, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I know, and that's why we can't move.
But I bought my house when I was 19.
Mhm.
So.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yep. Sure.
I was doing cocaine and hookers at 19.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I was spending all my
Sounds
money.
like you were having more fun than I was.
You know, I was talking to tonight to Kravitz. Have you heard it? I don't know if we discussed it. No, it's next week we discuss it. But we were talking about the fact. I said, "Did you have a happy childhood?" And he said, "Yes, a very happy childhood." And I said, I saw somebody being interviewed, and they said, "Oh, I had a lousy childhood. My father was a drunk, and my mother was a this, and everything." And I'm thinking, man, my childhood was wonderful. I had a great childhood. Do you think kids have the chance of a great childhood as much today as we did when we were younger?
Probably not.
I don't know. A lot of kids are running around with iPads and iPhones and stuff. You and I had walkie-talkies.
But I'll tell you, I don't know that iPads make it a better world. I mean, I'm talking about they go to school and they got to go through a metal detector.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mentioned,
those live shooter
drills.
demos or whatever.
Yeah.
Active shooter lessons instead of duck and cover lessons.
No, where they teach the kids how to be an active shooter.
Yeah.
Or if there's an active shooter at school, don't go.
Yeah.
And both parents have to work now, whereas when I was growing up, we could buy on one salary.
Yep.
Yep. And I mean, and kids today, I mean, I mentioned this last night. They, the school where the teacher got shot by a 6-year-old student. How does that even happen?
Lock up the parents.
I mean, you had to, when I was a kid, you had to reach at least 10 before you became a juvenile delinquent. But now you're shooting your teacher at 6 years old. And at that school, they're making the parents send their kids to school with transparent backpacks.
Yep.
Okay. At 6 years old, that seems a bit excessive.
I mean, there's some good things too, because I can track my kids through here, so I know exactly where they are, or at least where their phone is. But, there's some good stuff there, but I think there's a lot of freedom that they don't have like we had. I mean, I'd be gone in the morning, Saturday, Sunday morning. I don't remember telling my parents, like,
no,
I'm going to Bob's house. I was just gone, and I came back at night.
We moved over to Marin at 11 when I was 11. Yeah. And I would say to my mother, I'll be back later. She said, be home for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was it.
Just had to be home for dinner.
Now they don't let their kids out of their sight.
If I got good grades and was home for dinner, I got my allowance every month.
Mm-hmm. How much was your allowance?
Well, until I reached 14, it was $300 a week.
What?
A month. I'm sorry, a month.
Still a month.
What?
That's still a lot.
I hate to think. I hate to think how much.
14, it moved up a little bit.
I hate to think how much the tooth fairy left you.
The quarter for when I was growing up.
Oh, and when I grew up, it was a quarter.
Yeah. It was $1 or something like that. I mean, when you were losing your baby teeth, $1 was a lot of money. But as I got older, I mean, I had expenses. I had a car when I was 15, and it was an old clunker. I should have hung on to it for Brian, but he wouldn't have wanted it. Maybe he would have. I don't know.
I mean, I cherish my childhood. I mean, how I got this screwed up, I have no idea. But it wasn't caused by my parents or for lack of trying.
I don't know. It seems like you're doing pretty good to me.
I have somebody who's trying to come on named Tammy R. You got to know that's not
sounds
anybody.
Like Phil Meyer.
Huh?
I said sounds like Phil Meyer.
Let me see here. Let me remove them and just see if they try to come back. Okay. All right.
Or
Anyway, so Tammy's been removed. But I mean, I just think that I was brought up at a time when, my life was pretty good as a kid.
you were brought up in depression years, though, weren't you?
No,
39.
no.
After?
Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
Making a joke.
No, I was born in 1939, on the edge of World War II. Yeah,
During the World War, that's correct.
during the Second
We
World
actually
War.
weren't involved in 1939.
No, we didn't get into it till what, 41, I think?
41.
Yeah, December 7th of 41, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And,
You had a pretty good life.
Hmm?
If you asked somebody in the room that's from San Francisco back 30 years ago to pick anybody in this room that was somebody, they'd say Alex Bennett. Everybody knew your name 30 years ago in San Francisco.
Was that 30 years ago?
I don't know how long it was.
I think it was the,
Maybe 30 years.
1980 to,
That's 40.
oh, you should see what somebody just put up here. Can you see who's trying to come into the room? You can't
No.
see it.
No.
It says George N-word Floyd.
Oh my God.
I would report them.
I think I
Yeah.
think I will. Okay. Remove, and then it says report to Zoom. Okay. I remove, and then they say racist. Let me put down here. It says what happened. Offensive, illegal, abusive. It doesn't have down racist here. Okay. And submit. Okay, there we go. Thank you for submitting your report. Okay. And then it says George N-word Floyd on the report. So, Oh God. These people have been trying lately. I may have to figure out another way of you see, the problem is I have to post this address in order for people to use it to call the show. And I would like not to. I wish it were more like Skype, where anybody can call and then I can either answer it or not answer it.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's like you get annoyed by these people now, and it's just
You don't get to see them. I think you're the only ones annoyed because you're the host. Right?
Well, I I don't have to answer. I can just let them sit there and waste their time.
Somebody that's that racist to put that in there, I think I'd let them sit there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I was mentioning to you last night this guy this cab driver I had.
Oh yeah.
Which was just it was splendid. It was just splendid. He hated. He felt that the Capitol riots were good, and that Nancy Pelosi should have gotten killed.
I'll send you one of these red hats. You can give it to him.
No. I mean, you should send him a Nazi hat, something with a Nazi symbol. Oh, now it's N-word faggot. See, now he's got that twice.
Yeah, like that's going to help him get on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to help him get on the show. Right. Anyway, maybe I should, I'll just leave him there. I'll just leave him there.
Yeah, keep him busy.
Yeah, just leave it there.
I'm just going to leave it there for a while. He can.
At the last minute, report him.
Huh? No, I mean, I'll leave him there, and he can just waste his time. I don't know why people do that.
Because they're losers.
I guess maybe they have nothing else to do with their lives. But anyway, so
if anybody listens to this show more than one night, they're going to find out that you're pro-gay, pro, civil rights, pro.
I'll tell you what. Couple of problems with Zoom. I'll give you a couple of problems with Zoom. What are a couple of problems with Zoom, Alex? Well, glad you asked. You shouldn't be able to change your name.
Mm-hmm.
You should have to sign up with using your real name, okay, or whatever name you want to use, Okay.
Change it.
And then that's it. You know, that's what you're signed in as. But you can't, like, right now, this guy could just change his name on there and come back on again with the new name.
Uh-huh.
And they should do away with that. They should not make that. That's not, you know. They should give people an option maybe for their name not to be shown, but not to be able to change it, you know. And
How do I change my name? I'll add my last name to it.
well, see, all you got to do is you go down here, you see there, and then you go to, I can change it for you.
Change it. It's
But
WEIN.
no, but the fact is that after you sign off, it'll go back, it'll revert to this. Okay.
It doesn't matter to me. Everybody
You can
knows
do
who
it.
I am.
You can rename it. You're fine up there. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, it's just there are some problems here with Zoom in that respect. You know, and then occasionally Zoom will get a hold of me and saying, "Well, it's dangerous of you to post your address online." You know, and I'm going.
Sorry, you know what's really dangerous is, you know, at Safeway or at any of the grocery stores, they ask people what their phone number is so they can go on their rewards. So you have a lady there who has some guy following her or something, and he gets her phone number right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. I'm like, I can't believe that this lady, or even people, you know, that they're just out loud saying their phone number so they can log on and get rewards from the attending.
Those are the same
cashier.
people that if the clerk asked them for their social security number, the whole store would hear it.
Mine is, I say 408-123-4567, and they look at me and I say, go ahead and punch it up, and they punch it up and they say, oh, Brian. I said, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they don't need that number for anything. They're just using it as a number, as a unique number for you. But I just use that number every time, and they just stare.
This is a grocery store, and they're asking for your number.
Safeway,
Yeah, for
the
your
little
Safeway
keypad.
card.
Yeah, the little keypad. They ask for the phone number, but there's some places that they ask you, oh, what's your phone? Like you're like Orchard. Or,
Well, why do they need your phone number? What the hell do they need?
They look up your rewards that way.
Yeah.
It's a unique identifier.
Yeah, so they say, oh, what's your phone number? Do you have a phone number with us? And you say yes, and they say their phone number out loud where everybody can hear. They punch up their number, and they say, oh, yeah, blah, blah, and then then they'll add your payment there so you get rewards for it later.
Yeah, I remember the phone number I had as a kid, and so that's the number I use. I don't know who has it now. I'm sure somebody does, but
Do they ever do anything with that phone number, like contact you through it, or tell you about your rewards plan through it?
No, they use the address that you put in there.
So you can just make up a phone, make up a phony phone number.
Yeah.
Give it to them. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I don't even use my real address.
What? Because I don't
think of some guy sees some cute girl there and gets the phone number, some weird sicko guy, you know, and
Yeah. No, I mean it should be. You should actually. What they should do is they should have you put it in on a keypad.
Yeah.
Do a biometric. Well, you just touch the screen biometric with your finger.
Well, that they have.
Some places do, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what
Walgreens has a keypad that you key it in on. That's why that's the only store I do any kind of rewards with.
Yeah.
Ace Hardware asks for it out loud, and so does like Orchard Hardware Supply. Yeah,
All they should do is they should have a keypad, and you just put it in the keypad.
All the people with the number that you use, Charlie, are in the dark right now because of Walgreens.
What does Walgreens have to do with it?
Walgreens, isn't that who you said had your number?
Yeah.
Yeah, Walgreens down around the corner didn't agree with the.
By the way, Charlie, just in case you haven't tried, have you looked next door to see if their lights are off?
Yeah, it's
okay.
If you look outside, it's totally dark, and as far as you can see. Oh, by the way, the Walgreens I go to is in the dark too because they don't have any power either.
Oh.
This whole area, no power.
What's happening to people who like? Okay, let's say you have a heart attack right now. Can they get an ambulance out to you?
I hope so.
With your cell phone.
There's always, secondary damage of people that die because the ambulance can't get to them.
Right.
When you have stuff like this.
Well, I mean, this is terrible. this is just terrible what's happening to you. And I was Jack was on last night though, so I guess he wasn't in the dark there.
Yeah, he's got power there. He hadn't lost any power.
Yeah, but he said when he talked to him earlier in the day, he said that it was pretty dicey.
If we vote Trump back in, he's going to fix it so no snowstorms happen. He came up with this stupid thing.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Trump again.
You got to put a cross on it again. So he came up with something in the news the other day and said he's going to protect the if you vote him in as president in 2024, he's going to protect the United States from bombs and stuff. He's going to put a dome over the United States.
Yeah, I saw that.
A dome? Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Did Trump actually say that?
Yes.
Yeah, he said it.
Yes.
He's going to put a dome over the entire country.
Yes, to protect us from missile attacks in World War III.
He is?
There's hats that they let airplanes in and out.
Well, they have a dome over Israel, but it's a technical dome, not a real dome.
Not a physical dome.
It's called a dome.
But I think Trump meant the physical dome.
Do you think maybe he was referring to what I'm referring to?
Maybe.
What
did Reagan call it? The Iron Dome or the Iron?
Yeah. The Iron Dome. That's it.
Yeah.
That
works with his space.
That'll go just fine with all the checking of backpacks at schools and all of that. But just have a totally paranoid.
We almost got that in 2020 if he got reelected.
But there's a lot of people that are starting to run against them, right? They have a big list of people that are starting to.
Oh yeah, he's not going to have the field to himself.
Yeah, they say it's going to dilute everything.
Marjorie Trash Can Green is going to run against them.
Well, what he should have done was shut up for a couple of years, and then he shouldn't have said he was going to run as early as he said he was going to run. And, then he might have had a chance of getting the nomination.
He's like a crybaby. He wants the attention, so that's why he
needs
started
attention.
early.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the way to do it. It's not the way to get the nomination. Now, I don't know who's going to get it with all the people that might be entering into it. Everybody's talking, DeSantis is going to be the nominee or whatever. And I don't know if DeSantis is going to necessarily run.
I don't know. I just want to watch Trump go crazy on all of them. That's
well, he already has started going after DeSantis and calling him names. Ron, what's the name he's got for him?
It's his biggest
sanctimonious.
Oh my God! After this is all done,
he's afraid DeSantis is going to run.
When Adrian starts learning about politics, when I tell her the stories of this clown.
Well, you think DeSantis is going to run?
I don't know. Phil seems to think so.
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily going to run. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think Trump's going to get the nomination. That I don't think is a set.
I think we should start praying right now.
No, but it's going to be fun to watch because right when those guys say something bad about Trump's going to fire back, and it's just going to be this. It's going to be so fun.
You won't take the Fifth Amendment?
Oh, no,
well, I think he is actually he's going to be a little quieter this time.
Can you see the guys going after him saying, you told people to stick bleach, drink bleach or something.
Oh, well, that's it, So anyway, you're off to Florida tomorrow, right, Jeff?
I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
You're looking forward to rub our nose in it.
Is the power on? Is it warm there?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's warm here,
Yesterday I checked it out. It was 75.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us, and the same thing for Brian. And to, here's the problem with being black, Charlie. We would be able to see you much better if you were white. Okay, I'm just saying.
That's his
And
life.
then you got that stupid star above your head too, Charlie.
Yeah.
You gotta take
Oh,
that
you
down.
can see that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta take that down. Season's over.
And finally, Alan, thank you for joining us. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a big wave goodbye at you. Okay. There they go, folks. There they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Oh boy, I can't get out words tonight. For some reason, I'm having trouble forming thoughts. I think it's because I didn't get enough sleep last night. Anyway, hey, here's a guy who'll keep you up awake late at night. His name is Jack Bishop. He's next over most of this same Gabnet. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody.